Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 2023 season prep for In the Dugout. We're excited to be here at Babe Ruth headquarters to go over tonight's In the Dugout. And we have two excellent partners who are going to be joining me to talk about some of the products or services that they bring for our local leagues and for your members. So tonight we're going to be kind of focused in those directions, and then I'm going to take some time to go over some of those administrative things and different programs that you have gotten in your league kit or maybe in emails, and we're going to highlight some of those items for you tonight. So with me tonight is going to be Dan Keller with Mojo Training App and Austin Fisher from MLB's Pitch, Hit, and Run program. And we're excited to be going over the 2023 season of programs, opening day, part of the Babe, charter and insurance, and your league kits and the contents that come in them. So with that, let's get started for tonight. And at this point, I would like to welcome to the In the Dugout, Dan Keller from Mojo Training App. Dan, I've known for a long time, going back to the days with Dugout Captain and stuff, and we've been working together on Mojo. So to those who do not know what Mojo is, Dan, by all means, let's start telling our leagues about this exciting app that's available to them.
Thank you, Rob. Super excited to be once again a part of the Babe Ruth baseball and softball family for many years, starting in about 2017. Dugout Captain's been a longtime partner, sponsor, and now Mojo Sports, providing instructional content. So our niche is supporting the coach, supporting the parent, improving the player experience, and the phrase and really kind of a new tagline that we are ruthlessly focused on your league's player experience and a direct tool to impact their experience on the field of play. And we do that by supporting coaches and parents. So we'll dive in with a couple slides to highlight what Mojo is and some next steps. And let's get started here. Next slide. The big three for Mojo: recruiting and retaining coaches, keeping parents happy and informed, and making sure kids come back. Ultimately, we're really focused on that third bullet point of giving a smile on the kid's face, helping you return an athlete to join you next season. Should be the goal of all of our volunteer coaches, is keep those kids coming back and really improve that experience on field, maximize the value they feel like they got by signing up and paying their dollars to join your franchise. As we look at those big three, really the first bullet point is who Mojo is: recruiting, retaining, supporting coaches via instructional content. So I'll show you in a second with a quick demo. It's a powerful visual, how we serve coaches with ready-made curriculum, pre-programmed practice plans, all filled by hundreds, literally 250 drill videos. We have a batch of drill videos filmed in partnership with MLB and another batch of videos recently brought in underneath the Dugout Captain tag. So with that, we have two different areas for week-by-week curriculum, and where a coach can get an immediate solution. It can be everything for somebody, and it can be something for everybody that just needs a tip, a new drill, or a coaching tweak. Recruiting, retaining coaches. The parent side, it's over communication. It's transparency of what's being handled at practice. It's getting in front of some dramatic parents and the experiences we all know that come with the role. It's really supporting from parents to coaches down to kids that player experience. We beat that drum. And third, where we're improving with Mojo, is making the game even more fun. We got two visuals for you, a player card. And Mojo, every athlete gets their first player card that they can trick out with stickers and films and backgrounds and graphics. And we're rolling out a social feed that provides a little bit more of an in-game experience where highlights and videos and pictures and like an event chat can be captured, can be followed along here in Southern California, what's going on at headquarters in New Jersey. And all those pictures and videos get tagged to an athlete's player card. It's a fun visual. It's a way to keep the kids enticed, and they earn awards based on their on-field participation. So we're constantly supporting on-field activity with those big three: coaches, parents, and kids. We thought that at this point, I might show you the tool. So what I'm going to go ahead is I'll connect my phone and we will go through powerful visual of making sure we show you how quickly and how easily you can build a team on the Mojo platform. So bear with me just a second and I'll share my screen and we will show you this. We'll use the legend of Rob Connor to be our guinea pig. We'll pick him his sport of choice. Rob, your sport of choice, baseball or softball. We're judging you. What is your choice?
Let's go baseball.
Okay, I'm going to log over to the Mojo app. And there we are. So we're going to join a baseball team. And in 60 seconds or less, we're going to show you how easily you can create a team on the Mojo app free of charge. Baseball is the choice. Age, Rob, 6 to 7s, 8s to 9s. We'll go U10 for Rob.
Okay.
Roster size of a dozen or so.
Mm-hmm.
And a practice length 60, 75 minutes. Are you a eye black, short wearing 90 minutes, or are you going 2 hours over the top? We got to report you.
No. We're staying between no more than probably 75 minutes.
75 minutes. We won't report you. We'll go beginner skill set for your average rec program team. I will not connect an athlete and I'll skip a roster for now. And what Mojo has done is it's built and delivered your first practice plan. Front and center on what you see is my new team I just created. And if I click into where it says a sample first practice, I've got a ready-made, skill-specific, age-appropriate, 75-minute practice plan created for me based on an algorithm determined in partnership with Major League Baseball. I can dive into these activities and see that each of them involves a 60 to 90-second video, really professionally produced. These are filmed down in Florida with the Jackie Robinson Institute. Easy to digest from a parking lot out to the field. Your last 10 minutes in the office before you jam out to practice. Video up top, description, equipment, behind the scenes, tips and tricks, really shows all that is available in an immediate fashion. And from there, coaches can edit activities, edit instructions, and take it and run with it. So like we said, this is something that is something for everybody, everything for somebody, easily accessible in an app. We start there, and then we have all kinds of bells and whistles and tools that we do at the league level that we'll be able to share more at a later date. So this is an easy to download code. You can download this immediately. It's a free app. Kick the tires, vet the content, make sure that you like all that comes with Mojo.
Well, Dan, what I would want to do is for our volunteers out there, because I've been to a couple regional meetings, and Michael Solonic, who is our national baseball commissioner, our new national baseball commissioner, working alongside Robert Faraday, he has putting up a QR code in the meetings up on the deck slide, and some people may not know what to do with that. So all they need to do is take out their phone and open up their camera and just zoom in, or just put the camera towards, pointed towards that QR code, and once you click on it, it will take you right to a website for Mojo and get you going. So I had to laugh sometimes when some people were just like, what is that? I think that will help them. Dan, I know we work together, like you said, going back to the dugout captain days, and obviously your work going back there with, you've always been focused on the training and educational aspect. And I really think that one of the things that have intrigued us about the relationship with Mojo and having the ability to continue to work with you is the fact that there's coaches that are out there that have all different kinds of backgrounds. Some of them, played the game at the highest levels, to, that mom or dad that's out there that just was handed, the reins of a team and said, hey, we didn't have anybody. So what we did was nobody wanted to be the manager. So we named 4 coaches. And then, before you know it, after the second practice, the manager comes out. So I think what's great about this is that it has a lot of different tools that help educate the novice to the most advanced coaches to even get additional ideas. And whether you're using the regular coaching education program that we have had since 2008, this really just helps to kind of build on that. And I think it's going to be really successful, especially with having Major League Baseball involved in it.
That's exactly as Rob says. It's an opportunity to standardize and elevate the instructional level offered through a practice, and really that player experience that the family and the athlete are going to experience with your league. And it's an accountability partner to the coaches and the parents to say, look, we're looking for a better practice. We're looking for a more fun, high energy, fast moving, quick paced experience to keep the kids returning. And we're going to hold you accountable by serving you. We're going to provide you a tool that's free, that's available, that can meet you right where you're at. Each of our drills has a make it harder, make it easier piece. So, your 10-year-olds might run circles around my 12-year-olds, but I can find Mojo and it will meet me where I'm at to assist. And if that's a full solution for an apprehensive half arm raised volunteer, we've got you. If it's a 7-year, 8-year veteran and you need a new tip or a new drill, we've got you. And in partnership with Babe Ruth, with the coach's education, through the existing partners, we want to be that other tool that's available 364 to make sure wherever you're at, we got you. We have some tools at the league level. We're going to host a follow-up, kind of a demo call on Friday. And I'll follow up with email, Rob, with those in attendance to make sure that we send a personal invite. It's 1:00 Pacific, 4:00 Eastern on Friday. And we'll offer some of the ways that we automate these steps in mass to offer it easily and quickly to a league. It's a real powerful solution and very popular at the league level.
I think it's great, Dan. And I think that a lot of people are really going to come to learn what Mojo is. I think it's one of those, even when we started working together, I went, Mojo what? And, but obviously after diving through it, I definitely see the value in it. And it reminds me of my days as a league president. This is certainly keeping the focus for the coaches to have the tools necessary in order to have those kids have a great experience. Because if the kids have a great experience, they're coming back, whether it's in the fall, if you're running a fall program, or they're coming back next spring. And that's really what we're trying to do, is give our leagues the ability to have those types of assets to help improve their league membership over time. So Dan, thank you so much. I know that there might be some questions that come in that we'll dive into here. And we also will provide everybody with the information and send out an email to everyone, so that this way, if you want to learn more about Mojo and take a real deep dive into it for yourself or for your local league, you will have that for this coming Friday. But Dan, thank you so much. It's always great working with you.
Thank you, Rob. I appreciate the opportunity.
Okay, moving right along. Our next one actually is in our MLB themed here tonight. I was going to introduce Austin Fisher. This is something I've been familiar with going back to my days as a league president a long time ago. And was always excited to do this at the league level when I ran it. The kids always had a big kick out of it. And we thought that this would be a great time to have Austin explain, what is pitch hit and run, the junior home run derby, which was not available way back when. But I thought, Austin, this would be a great way for you to explain to everybody how can they do this at the local league, because it doesn't cost them anything other than the time in the schedule to make this happen. So Austin, it's great to have you on In the Dugout. So let's go through your deck and give you the opportunity to kind of talk here a little bit.
Awesome, Robert. I really appreciate you having me. Greetings to everyone from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Truly appreciated to be a part of the Babe Ruth family here tonight. And also just want to kind of give praise to the guy before me, Dan Keller. We actually work with Mojo on not only how to do videos for Junior Home Run Derby and Pitch Hit and Run, but also on the NFL flag side of it. So Mojo is a phenomenal company that we're proud to work with here at RCX Sports. But from RCX Sports perspective, my name is Austin Fisher. As Rob alluded to, I'm the director of baseball and softball. And we last April took on the Junior Home Run Derby and the Pitch Hit and Run contracts for Major League Baseball. So right now we're looking for strategic partners and just trying to grow the game of baseball and softball like everyone else is on this call. And as Rob alluded to as well, these are completely free events. All you need is time, field, and I suppose baseballs and softballs. So giving everyone a Junior Home Run Derby overview here. So this is a fun, free event for both baseball and softball players ages 12 through 16. So the age groups are 12U and 14U. And I know this might be a little bit different from how everyone runs their own league or different guidelines. but that U is based off of a July 20th date. So as long as an athlete is not 15 or 17 on the softball side, they're eligible to compete. And there's no age minimum. So 10-year-olds come on out, compete. Everyone, it's all about, just trying to hit some dingers and having a good time from that perspective. But when we took over the property, a big thing for us was separating, making sure softball has opportunities as well as baseball. Of course, because baseball has the opportunities, but making sure that we're providing a bigger net for everyone to come out and compete. And then just some good rules of thumb as well when running one of these. Hitters get 25 pitches or 3 minutes to hit as many home runs as possible. Winners from each local event are put into a pool of other winners from that region, and top performers will advance to the regional qualifiers. Now, the exciting thing about this is when we partnered with Babe Ruth, Rob and I were discussing this. If you run one of these junior home run derbies at your league, your winners will be automatic qualifiers. So they won't put in that pool. They'll get the golden ticket, and then they will move on to the regional level to compete at one of MLB's youth academies, minor league stadium, or potentially major league stadium. And the really cool thing about that is if they win that regional, all expenses paid for them and the guardian. And we'll see if we can get, the operator a trip out to Seattle too, to the All-Star Week to compete at the finals at T-Mobile, which happens to be in Seattle this year, Dallas next year. And all of this is completely free. So MLB does a great job of subsidizing that. And at the end of the day, they're just trying to grow the two sports, and obviously specific to this group, baseball. And now going into the pitch hit and run overview. So junior home run derby, I think everyone on here, being baseball and softball minded that we are, knows that you got to be able to know how to swing a bat, right, to hit a home run. Now you can still offer it to everyone the same opportunity, but it just might change their amount of fun. Now, pitch hit and run is the official skills competition. I think in the past it was known as Diamond Skills, and this is for the masses. You might have never picked up a baseball or a softball or swung off a tee before. That's okay. Come on out and compete. This is a fun-free event for any baseball and softball player, ages 7 through 14. Same thing, just can't be 15 off of November 20th, and that date for November 20th is based off the World Series. So this event can be experienced athletes, any athletes, kind of just covered that as well. And it consists of the 3 different tests: pitch, hit, and run. Think punt, pass, and kick if you were football minded in the past. And the groups are the 4 different age groups. And like I said, we included softball. So now you're going to have 8 total winners if you are offering this to everybody. And this one is cool too, because from the winners of each event are put into a pool against local event winners, and top performers will advance to the team championships. Now, all of the team championships, all 20 through 25, depend on how many there are held in Major League Baseball stadiums. So if you're the 1% that wins, no matter what, you get to go compete at Citizens Bank Park, or we just finalized with the Mets. So you're going to Citi Field. It's just based off, the geography and where all you're living. And from there, if you compete and win that, you get put into a pool against all the other team championships. And if you have a top score, 32 athletes are advancing to Game 2 of the World Series. So we were in Houston last year to compete on the field the day after Game 2. Same thing. Parents are paid for. Athlete is paid for. Well, parents, I should say. Athlete is paid for, and we'll see if we can, maybe hook somebody up if we're running one of these events as well.
That's great. I know that I would assume, Austin, that some of the leagues could also use this as an opportunity that it becomes another event that they could schedule into their season, sort of like opening day or closing ceremonies. It allows the league to, potentially open up the snack bar, the concession stands, create a family atmosphere as you kind of work through the different age groups. I would assume is something that you're kind of recommending to the leagues as they're looking at it.
Rob, absolutely. That's phenomenal. Thanks for bringing that up. So MLB kind of has the decree that they don't want anybody to be charged admission to compete, and they don't want to charge the operator. But if you want to have concessions open, a fundraiser over there, as long as athletes aren't being charged to compete, by all means, we can be as creative as one. It's our job to help work with you guys to make sure that, if there needs to be a financial component on your end, that opportunity is at least present and available, as long as, we're doing everything ethically in the right way.
That's great. I always found that when we did it in our local league, it was always a great way. Everybody's in competition sort of with one another, during the season and stuff. And it was a great opportunity, on a Saturday, sometimes we did it, or on an evening that everybody was sort of together and just trying to, either hit the ball out or, trying to do the pitch, hit and run, and stuff. It was always a great opportunity for the kids. So with that, I see we have some QR codes again. We've already covered people probably taking out their phones to turn on their camera and be able to get the links for these. But go ahead and explain a little bit, Austin, how that's going to work.
Yeah, absolutely. So everyone on this call, so even if you're on the fence, right, the best thing you can do is apply to be a free host. Because when you apply to be a free host, we're going to send you a completely free kit. So it's going to have, for pitch and run, it's going to have a pitching mat. It's going to have zip ties, scorecards, handbook. And you're really just going to kind of be brought into the family. And we're going to figure out and do the heavy lifting on how we can execute this event with you. And from there, it's a simple page, one page. You'll get approved since you are affiliated with Babe Ruth, and then we'll work together to find the right date. Two dates to keep in mind for Junior Home Run Derby. Events need to be completed by Play Ball Weekend, which is June 11th, and then Pitch Hit Run is July 31st. So as long as your events are done by then, your winners will automatically qualify for this year. Now, if you can only do a Junior Home Run Derby July 4th weekend, that's fine. Your winners will just qualify for 2024. So it's kind of a rolling registration from that perspective as well. And a really cool thing too about offering these events, if you do decide to either make it a public or private event. If it's a private event, it can only be offered to whoever you send the link to. If you want to do a public event, you are able to be searched in a zip code finder up to 100 miles. And any athlete who registers, whether that's somebody in your league or outside of the league, you get to keep that data. So hopefully, in theory, right, if it's an outsider who registers and come partake in your pitch and run Junior Home Run Derby, we're getting them to sign up for Babe Ruth in the fall or the spring the following year.
That's great. And they have the ability to do one or the other or both.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, that's great because I think the pitch, hit and run serves more towards the younger kids a little bit more. And the Junior Home Run Derby certainly covers some of those older age groups that you covered in that. So that's good.
Thanks, Rob. I appreciate that.
All right. And the best part is it doesn't cost the leagues any money. So that's the other good thing here. So we're selling something that is free, which I think free is always good, right?
Everyone needs oxygen, right?
That's it. Austin, listen, thanks a lot for coming out tonight and joining with me and Dan. It certainly was great to have the MLB connection here tonight for In the Dugout.
Appreciate it, Rob. Thanks for having me. If anybody has any questions, please send an email and we'll get back to you immediately. Happy to jump on a call as well with anybody individually.
Austin, thanks again. And we're going to move on to the rest of the items that we have for In the Dugout tonight.
Thanks, Rob.
So with that, as promised, based on feedback that we received in the past, when we talk about having different sponsor partners on, the feedback has always been, try to keep it kind of short and sweet. So I think that Dan and Austin did a great job here tonight. And I hope you guys can take their information, reach out to them and take part in the pitch, hit and run or with the Mojo app. I think it will be beneficial for your players and families. So with that, let's move over to some of the items that are on the Babe Ruth side, some housekeeping items for our league administrators. We want to point out a couple different things, so we're going to run through them now for you. When you go to our website, you can check out the latest rule changes for 2023. You can see how it's highlighted on our homepage here, where you can find under the Rules and Regulations tab, you can see the 2023 rule changes. Next week, towards the latter half of the week, league officials and commissioners are going to be receiving, along with moms, dads, and anybody that has been in our database, we are going to be sending out our opening day Hometown Pride presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. This is our third year to do opening day. We are really excited about leagues getting up and running. Those leagues, I know that we have some in our warmer climates, have already gotten started with some games and opening ceremonies even this past weekend. We know that those of us up here in some of the northern states, we know we got a couple more weeks to go before we actually start our opening days. But it's a great opportunity for parents, coaches, league officials to take photos, videos of their players, their families getting ready for opening day, as well as at opening day ceremonies. So this is a great opportunity and a great bond each year, as opening day always has special meaning in baseball. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be sending out emails for local leagues to make sure that you have all your information that you need for submitting photos, posting them online, and using the hashtag BRL opening day. We are also sending out opening day banners to those leagues that wish to have one. Now, if you chartered early, if you were one of the first 300 leagues to charter for the season, you have already received one in your league kit. So if you have not cracked open that box yet, go into your league kit and you will find an opening day banner in there. If you would like an opening day banner for your league to have, all you need to do is contact your league service representative, provide your name, the league name, and state, and we will be happy to print one off for you and ship it free of charge for you to use for opening day at your ballpark. We also will be doing different opportunities here once you guys provide us some photos and videos, where you will find your players on social media, on our website, and in different types of either stills or videos that we'll be doing as part of the opening day campaign that will run through the end of April. Here's some examples of some photos that were taken just last year as part of opening day that we took and then added the graphics for opening day and that hashtag BRL opening day. So the marks for opening day, this is what the banners look like. So as a Babe Ruth League baseball program, if you're doing Babe Ruth baseball or Cal Ripken, you can tell your league service rep that you would like a Babe Ruth League baseball banner. Those of you who have softball as well, you can ask for a Babe Ruth softball banner. We have them available in different sizes, 3x5 and 5x5. We would be happy to get you the 3x5s out as soon as possible. Those leagues that also have a Dick's Sporting Goods in the area and you would like to have a banner with the Dick's logo on it as a sponsor of your local league, you are more than welcome to also ask us for a Dick's Sporting Goods banner, which you see at the bottom there. So for local league initiatives, this will provide a great experience for youth sports. Opening day is always a special thing for Babe Ruth and for the game of baseball and softball. How we can get your photos is when you're posting them online, either through personal accounts, your league accounts, etc., you need to use the hashtag BRL opening day. If you use that on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, we will be able to get your photos. If you're looking for some examples for this season, as well as for the prior years, you can go onto your social media platforms and do a search of the hashtag BRL opening day, and you'll see some of the photos and videos that have already come in. We also had a great example just in the last week or so with a league down in Florida that posted a video and tagged us from their opening day. And they used the opening day as a way of generating extra funds for their local league. They did a 50-50 raffle at the park, which is very common across many of our leagues across the town. They did this at opening ceremonies, and their raffle drew $12,000 for their local league, and the winner actually received half of that, $6,000, based on what they posted on their website. So it also can be an opportunity to engage your parents through other means as you're celebrating opening day for your local league. As you can see here, there's ways for us to be able to provide local leagues with the graphics for opening day. These are examples where leagues have taken some of the images that we posted on social media and posted it onto their individual websites or onto their own individual social media platforms. These are from the 2021 season, where these leagues took our graphics and actually publicized their opening day as a way of announcing that opening day was coming up for their local league. So together, this is a great opportunity for both your local league and for us here at Babe Ruth League to celebrate the players playing in our program. But of course, just like with many things, we need your help in order to do this. So what we need you to do, again, is to work and set up opening day at your park. Make sure that your leagues and your parents with all your teams know that we're looking for photos and videos of opening day. for them to send on their own personal pages to the league's website, tagging with the hashtag BRL opening day. And it will be a great way for us to now highlight our local leagues on our social media platforms and on our website, and draw some recognition for your local league and your participants in your program. Some of the inspiration for photos, sometimes people are like, well, what do we want to take photos of or videos of? Again, here's some examples of some different types of photos that could be. There's the spontaneous, shots that we capture from time to time. There's even the full body or close-up action shots that traditionally Glossy Finish is able to get for us at the World Series and other venues, to the celebration of the game, that big hit, that big strikeout, to that game ending play. Those are all different things that we can take as far as photos and videos, and be able to tie it to the opening day experience, and to be able to feature your local league and your ball players and families. So with that opening day, we now move on to something else that we created, and that is the Heart of the Babe Award for 2023. The Heart of the Babe has been a successful program in its now third year. It has been so successful that we have actually taken this award and actually brought it to the World Series Sportsmanship Award. So all 16 World Series that are played in the summertime, we actually have a team that wins the Sportsmanship Award at each of the World Series that turn around and take place. And that's an example of the banner that we have presented to those teams. But the Heart of the Babe program for your local league can be about individual players. And we have had local leagues, from the local league presidents and league officials to individual team managers, that will go to the Heart of the Babe on our website, and they will nominate a player for the Heart of the Babe. And we believe that this is a great way to highlight individual players in local league programs who demonstrate the Heart of the Babe for their team. So we would ask that you take a look at our website at baberuthleague.org and the Heart of the Babe, and you can very easily go on and nominate a player, and we'll actually feature those names. We will actually feature those names on display at our office and at the Babe Ruth Experience later this summer. Okay, the next thing is our local league registration toolkit, and this is a byproduct of feedback that we received from previous In the Dugouts, where local leagues have asked for different types of assets that could help them with getting the message out to their local area that they're running a program and that they're open for business, to be able to get more players to participate in their local league. And what we've done is we've taken the opportunity to focus on all three divisions, depending upon what a local league is doing. These are examples here of Babe Ruth Baseball, our Babe Ruth Baseball division, which is ages 13 to 18, where local leagues can have lawn signs created and customized for their particular league website and their league name, to flyers that they might send to schools, or they send out in emails to people, where they're able to put their registration information or news about their local league, whether it's the spring or fall, to social media posts, which many leagues are very good at publicizing through social media their league activities and their league events. So these are examples here for Babe Ruth Baseball. And we also have examples here for Cal Ripken Baseball and our Babe Ruth Softball division. We have a print shop here at headquarters that is able to print any type of banner or any type of signs that you might need for your local league. You would simply just contact your league service representative on email, or at the office here from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday, at 800-888-3142. And contact your league service representative if your local league needs help with sponsor banners, to the lawn signs that you see featured in the toolkit. Whatever we could possibly do in order to help you, we will do our best here at headquarters to be able to produce you items that hopefully would save the league money, and to be able to also draw attention to your local league and possibly your sponsors that are participating to help you run the program as well. Okay, The next thing is your charter and insurance for 2023. It's very important. This is probably the most important thing. If you are running a local league that took Babe Ruth insurance for the 2022 season, your Babe Ruth insurance expired on January 31st. That technically means that unless you charter and pay a minimum number of teams, 4 in a major division, you don't have insurance right now. So it is very important that if you did have Babe Ruth insurance for 2022, it is important that you get in there before you start league activities and not have a gap in coverage that you might have. Now, for the 2023 season, we did have an increase in charter fees for the first time in approximately, I think, 13 years. The fees are reflected there as well as in your chartering portal where the league admin goes. Those are indicated by the different divisions there. On the insurance side, we had some small increases. We also had some reductions. Accident insurance for leagues is remaining the same as they were for 2022. I believe that is now, the 6th or 7th season in which accident rates have stayed at the same rates. Directors and officers liability coverage, this is an optional coverage for local leagues, is actually seeing a $29 reduction compared to 2022. Crime insurance, $261 per league. This is for local leagues to turn around and they have an option to purchase. It's not required. This had a $13 reduction in rates. Now, on the liability side, liability is a little bit harder because of the sort of lawsuit world that we kind of live in nowadays. It does have a major impact on the marketplace for liability insurance that goes well beyond Babe Ruth League and local league programs. So our liability rates this year saw a small increase for our Cal Ripken age levels, and that you see listed there, those different older age groups saw a roughly $3 increase per team. To our younger divisions, saw a $1 increase, and that's for the $1 million liability coverage. Under the $2 million, there was a $4 increase over 2022 rates for the older divisions and a $2 increase for our younger divisions. Local leagues are not required to take Babe Ruth insurance with K&K. However, you must meet certain coverage limits, and your service representative will be able to provide that to you if you're unsure of that. It is also located in the beginning pages of the rule book under the chartering section for the 6 or 7 items that you have to have if you wish to take third-party insurance. Approximately right now, over the last several years, this has been a pretty well staple that roughly almost 7.5 leagues out of 10 take the Babe Ruth insurance. It's just easier and it's very comprehensive. With that, we move on to the World Series for this coming summer. We talked about 16 different age groups that we will run World Series for. We have Crown Point, Indiana, which will be doing their first World Series for the 10-year-olds. Our Cal Ripken 60s, though the 12-year-old 60s will not have a World Series this year. And that is in part because at the 12-year-old age level, on the 60-foot diamond, many regions have stopped doing regional tournaments because of the lack of participation on the 60-foot diamond for 12-year-olds. What we have seen is those players playing more 70 football. So it's been very hard to have all 8 regions comprise a World Series. So the 60-foot, this will be the first year that the 60-foot is not taking place. However, in the 70-foot, we do have the major 70 will be back in Branson, Missouri this year. Our 13-year-old World Series for Babe Ruth Baseball will be back in Glen Allen. Our 14-year-olds this year will be in Stafford and Fredericksburg, Virginia. Stafford is hosting again for the second year in a row. This year, 14s. Last year, some of you might remember that they hosted the 13-15. This year for the 13-15 is the staple of World Series, and that's Jamestown, New York. Jamestown, New York has a designation of hosting the most World Series in Babe Ruth, going back to the 1970s. Jamestown has a great long history and will offer those kids and participants a great opportunity this summer with a lot of memories. Next is our 16-18 division, will be hosted by Cape Girardeau, Missouri. It's located in the southeast section of Missouri. Cape Girardeau is hosting their first World Series and is going to do a great job. They have excellent facilities, great volunteers like many of our World Series sites. And those teams participating this year will get the treat of several international teams that will be competing in addition to the U.S. teams at the 16-18. More details will be coming out on that very soon. Our other age groups are 9-year-old, 11-year-old 70, 8-year-old machine pitch will all take place in Ocala, Florida this coming summer. These are invitational World Series, which means that any league that is chartered with us and signed up for the tournament trail may sign up today and begin fundraising in order to come to the Invite World Series for Cal Ripken. They run exactly like our regular World Series with all the awards and all the different fanfare that we do. And Ocala is an excellent venue year after year and will provide a great experience for those 3 age groups this year. Next is the Cherry Hill 8-year-old player pitch. This will take place in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. The Cal Ripken 8-year-old player pitch, I believe. That will take place in Cherry Hill, New Jersey this summer. Cherry Hill is hosting now for the 4th time, and they do a great job each summer for those players and teams that wish to do player pitch. And then, of course, who can forget but the Babe Ruth softball division. All 6 age groups from 8U to 18U will be back on the Treasure Coast down in Jensen Beach this coming summer. They span over a 2-week period with the 12s, 14, 16, and 18Us on week 1. And then in week 2 will be our 8s and 10s in the Babe Ruth softball division. And the Treasure Coast has been hosting the Babe Ruth Softball World Series since 2015. And the local league and the community do a great job for our teams participating. Okay, if you have chartered for the season and paid, you should have received your league kit in the mail. Usually if you pay for your league, usually we will have your local league kit out probably within 2 business days on average. It will leave our office via UPS and ship UPS ground to the league president's home address. It's very important that the league president make sure to not have a PO box when they sign up their league for the season. And that is something that your customer service representative would reach out to you if you happen to have a PO box in there. So your league kit comes via UPS. Your items in there are a copy of the 2023 local league guide, as well as a rule book for each team that you charter, as well as a rule book for the league president to have. And if the league president is a league president of both baseball and softball, they will receive both rule books. In addition to that, the local leagues also do have the ability to also order supplies, additional rule books, and patches at a discounted price and pay no shipping if you do that at the time of your initial charter in the season. If you need additional rule books or patches after chartering, you'll want to go to our online store that you'll find on our website, and you'll be able to place an order there. In addition to your supplies, we have a special treat this year. Smackin' Seeds is our official sunflower seed of Babe Ruth League, and you will find a couple packets, samples for you to try out, along with a flyer that you can also learn information about selling Smackin' Seeds in your concession stands for the coming season. It's a great product, and we're excited to be partnering with them for the first year for the 2023 season. So look for them in your league kit. Those of you who are not the league president, you might want to ask your league president, where's the seeds? And they should, hopefully they're not hiding them from you to be able to share. Okay, so those are some of your items that are in your local league kit. And with that, we'll move over to some of the questions and answers. And now I'll be able to kind of put my eyes back over towards the question and answer side. Okay, chartering. I did my best here tonight out of our webinars to not talk about Sports Engine, because we have been consumed with Sports Engine on our In the Dugout webinars the last month or so. But if you're doing your charter, this is where you're indicating to us who your league officers are, how many teams you're going to have, selecting and purchasing insurance or providing us your accident and liability coverage. That is done in your league portal through BabeRuthLeague.org. That is your charter and insurance. It's done through BabeRuthLeague.org. If you don't know your account information and you tried to forget password, you're not getting any information back. All you need to do is contact us at headquarters, and somebody will turn around and be able to help you with getting you set up for your local league. Okay. But Sports Engine, that's your roster side. That has nothing to do with the chartering side. And again, just in case there's any confusion here, but when any of the teams that are in Babe Ruth softball or in the Cal Ripken invite ages, you first have to be a chartered league, and you have to be registered for the tournament trail. And we will then work with you in our office. Daniela will work with you to get you set up either at the Treasure Coast, Ocala, or Cherry Hill. And then you play in the tournament trail until completion. So you're still required to play. You can't necessarily skip any levels, but we will work with you to get you signed up in advance of the World Series so you have time to fundraise. Okay, does your book come with paid dues or in a separate purchase? I'm going to assume, Darren, that might be for an umpire. They would come in your umpire kit, which is after your purchase. If you're talking about a local league and you purchased additional rule books at the time of chartering, they will come in your charter kit, and they will be mailed in your charter kit for the coming year. If you ordered them through the online store, then they would also come via UPS. Okay. Hello from Panama. We did get to see your opening day video the other day, so welcome our friends from Panama. And then actually Don Clark, our New Hampshire State Commissioner, long time volunteer in our program, actually brought up a very good point. If you say you did your initial charter for the season, and now you're going back and you're finding that you need to add more teams, you simply go back in to the chartering side at BabeRuthLeague.org where you did the initial charter, and you have the ability to modify your team counts to the proper levels to match your rosters. When you're going to go and do your rosters, when you get to the point of uploading your rosters, the Sports Engine system will flag any rosters that are above the team counts by division that you paid for initially. So if you, let's say, chartered 6 teams, you have rosters for 8, the Sports Engine system is going to prompt you to go back into the chartering side to pay for 2 additional teams directly, or you can simply just short circuit that, go back and revise your team counts to do that. You have until July 1st of 2023 to revise your team counts up or down for the season. So with that, I want to take an opportunity to thank everybody for joining us. I want to thank Dan and Austin, Dan from Mojo Sports and his app. I think Mojo, for those of you who got an opportunity to see the beginning of broadcast, I think you're really going to enjoy that app. I think it's going to be a great tool for your coaches. And then leagues that are out there that are interested in doing the pitch, hit, and run or the junior home run derby, the information will be provided. We will make sure that you have this deck as well as this video for you to review over the next couple of days via email. And we ask that you get signed up with Dan or Austin to learn more information as soon as possible, because both of them are an excellent opportunity for your local leagues. With that, I want to thank you for taking the time out this evening out of your schedule to join us for In the Dugout. Our next in the Dugout will be coming out. We're probably going to be doing a commissioner-only one coming up towards the end of the month, and we will be back with another public one for our league officials, parents, as well as commissioners and the broader public, probably as we get started in the month of April. With that, if you have any questions, again, please contact us at Babe Ruth headquarters. But I want to thank you sincerely for you taking part tonight and for volunteering, whether as a commissioner or a league official in your local program. Together, we certainly all can have a huge impact on our participants participating in this great program. So with that, good night from Babe Ruth headquarters, and thank you for once again joining us for In the Dugout.